Hello, mic check 1 2 1 2. So this is funny using a mic. For the purpose of sound quality, I'll be using this mic to transmit these messages to you with greater clarity and volume. So I'm back in the van. New adventures are unfolding. New changes are unfolding. Such is life. And in this video, I want to share with you something that gets really to the root of your suffering and the root of your freedom and happiness, because that's really what I'm interested in sharing and exploring. Is let's get right down to the root of all of it. So the root really, like why we suffer, why do we suffer, why do we feel shit sometimes, is because we get caught in identifying with this separate self, separate poor me that's got problems, feels threatened, and is very self-concerned. We get identified with self-concerning thoughts, emotions. Trying to explain this as clearly as possible. If you come to your experience of life, you can see that you experience thoughts, you experience sensations or feelings, and you experience images, pictures, which can be of the past or the future, or they can be about the present moment. And basically, a lot of the time we are so concerned or identified with this flux of energy, of thought, feeling, sensation, image that comes up. We're self-identified with it, and so we're very concerned with what's going on in our thoughts, what's going on in our feelings. How am I feeling? How am I thinking? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling bad? Am I feeling better than I was 5 minutes ago? Will I feel better tomorrow? Will I feel better when I do this? Etc., etc. Basically, you can spend your whole life in that self-concerned energy, and can be pretty damn dense and limiting. So really what we want to do is just break out of that energy altogether of self-concern. Give up self-concern. And the opposite of self-concern really is service to life, which is everything. It includes yourself and others, because there is no difference ultimately. But it's this energy of giving from the heart, of being able to serve. Okay, so that's the opposite. That's where we want to place our attention, from self-concern. What's going to happen to me? Where am I going to be? Where have I been? What does this mean for me? How will I cope? You literally just train yourself with great discipline to just not be concerned anymore with the self-concern. You're not concerned with the self-concern anymore. You're like, oh, you see it for what it is. It's not you. It's not who you are. It's being concerned about a phantom, literally a made-up self that doesn't exist. So the more you can divert your attention towards service, the more you naturally step into who you really are, which is always free and available, and at peace. Who you really are. Stepping into service. How can I serve others? So I just wrote down a few things that came to mind that can help us switch the attention from self-concern to service to life. Number one, rest when you need to rest. Sometimes the biggest service you can give to the world is to rest. Let the body and the mind rest. It doesn't mean you have to be concerned with them and feed those thoughts and feelings, but sometimes you just got to nurture them and rest. Like take a nap, meditate, do some yoga, go, take some space by yourself, go connect with nature. Just rest, and that can be an act of service in itself. In fact, every time you sit down, if you have a meditation practice or a spiritual practice, just notice the difference, the shift, when it becomes a service to life as opposed to an ego, self-concern gain. I'm going to sit here for an hour because I want to gain somewhere or get somewhere. That's still a trap of self-concern. You're still feeding self-concern, which ultimately is just dense suffering and doesn't feel great. If you sit and say, well, I'm going to sit here in the service of others because the more at peace I am here and now for this next hour, the more I'm going to be able to impact others with my peace. So that's a completely different shift. Excuse me. Okay, next up. Don't be so concerned or give so much attention to the changing process of the body and the mind. Yeah, it's pretty much the crux of what I've spoken about. The body and the mind are in constant flux, constantly changing. The more you observe, the more you slow down and look at the inner world, the more you will see they're just constantly changing all the time. Vibrations, energies, thoughts, feelings coming and going all the time, coming, going, changing. This mood, then that mood, this mood, then that mood. It's always changing. This idea, then that idea. And really, we just want to just not be so concerned about it so much anymore. It's just a flow of energy, just like when you're outside in nature hearing the birds. You know, you're not like overly concerned, like, oh, they stopped tweeting. Why have they stopped tweeting? Are they going to tweet again? How many times have they tweeted in the last hour? You don't bother going into all that analysis of it. You're just aware that the birds are tweeting. So in the same way, you train your awareness to just not be so concerned with this changing phenomena of body and mind. Easy to say, in practice, it takes a lot of practice. Okay, number 3, you can literally ask yourself the question and really feel into it. How can I be of service today? And open. Just don't look for an answer intellectually, just open for life to give something to you as you ask that question with real sincerity. Number 4, if your energy wants to flow or create, wants to flow to create or act on something productive, just let it. Let that energy flow. Don't contain your self-expression. Just let it flow. If you've got projects coming in, just create for creation's sake. That is a great service to yourself, to the world. However small the creation is, if you just create something small every day, you know, that's a great service to yourself and to life. Number, 5? Smile and love yourself just the way you are. Really simple, but so powerful. How often do you have the discipline and awareness and presence to actually stop, smile, and allow yourself to feel a wave of love for however you feel? You can even like hug yourself, massage yourself, kiss yourself, whatever works for you. But it's the intention of just loving yourself just the way you are, even when you feel a real challenging, painful emotion coming up. If anything, that's when you need even more love and acceptance. Number 6, have fun, do the things you enjoy. That's a great service to life. Enjoying yourself is a great service. So, yeah, I don't need to explain more about that. Number 7, say no to the things that don't resonate. Do not compromise your truth. We each have a voice inside of us that knows what's right and knows what doesn't feel right. It's often quieter than the big voice of the mind, of the ego, of the self-concerned voice. Be concerned with me, protect me, enhance me. that's often a lot louder than the quieter voice of the intuition. But the more you can honor that, say no. So sometimes saying no to something is a great service to life, because then you free up energy for something much more productive and beneficial for life by saying no to the old, saying no to the toxic, saying no to that which doesn't serve you. That's a great service to life. Now life can give you, you've just cleared 30% of your canvas, so now life can give you something else a lot more in line with what life wants as a whole. I can't remember what number, I think it's number 8. Give up worry and give up perfection. Just try for 5 minutes. What does it feel like when I just give up the addiction to worry, when I give up the addiction to be perfect in what I'm doing, for everything to be perfect? Just fuck it. Just say, fuck it. You know what? Today I'm going to allow myself to make as many mistakes and cock-ups in everything I do. Just see how that feels. That's a great service to life. Number 89, laugh at yourself. Laugh at yourself. Take the piss out of yourself. Laugh when you're taking things seriously. Like, nothing matters ultimately. Really, nothing is worth taking yourself seriously. So just have a laugh, lighten up, have a Kit Kat. And lastly, but definitely not least, don't hold back your love. Don't hold back your love. Just share your love. Every day, if someone comes into your awareness that you just want to share some love to, just do it. Don't get caught in paralysis. Should I say this? Should I not? Just do it. Love, if it's like pure love, then you're not going to look for anything back. So it doesn't matter how the other person reacts, or if they respond or they do. It doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about you sharing. So that is an ultimate, beautiful, beautiful service, to share your love in any single way. It could just be a smile to your neighbor, maybe writing a letter to someone, making a little gift, just tuning into that vibration where you share love. So there we go. There are hopefully some practical tips to help you to tune in to the vibration, because ultimately everything is literally just a vibration. We're just playing a vibrational game. So tune in more and more to the vibration of service. How can I be of service to life? Okay, which includes you. You are life. And start being aware when you are perpetually focused on self-concern energy. How am I doing? How am I being perceived? What's going to happen to me? What does this mean to me? All that is part of the self-concern energy, and really the freedom, the true freedom, is just to exit that whole game altogether. You don't need to try and work it out, to figure it out, to get tangled in it. Just leave that energy altogether and focus on how can I serve. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the microphone and enjoy.